Good morning, everyone. I want to welcome and thank every one of you for coming to the New Covenant Worship Center on this Saturday morning. Each parent, grandparent, mentor, family member, and friends, I thank all of you for taking the time out to celebrate this great occasion, the Crossing High School senior graduation. These times in our lives are very busy. We keep saying it'll slow down. When this is over, when the kids get through this. But most probably it will not slow down. How many of you can relate to that? It doesn't. So again, I say thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. Thank you for taking your time to create a memorable and great experience for them to experience and many more to come in your life. I also want to acknowledge and to say thank you for the board members who are in attendance here today. Are there any board members in attendance today? Raise your hand. Thank you. Today is a wonderful day. Today is a memorable day. Today is the end of a portion of these graduates' life. But today is also the beginning of a new portion of that life, your life. Through the challenges that each one of you and this graduating seniors have faced, you rose to the occasion. You chose to overcome the difficulties that you were faced with in order to achieve, and thus to now be recognized for this achievement in graduating. And for this, I say congratulations, seniors. This graduation is only one achievement that you have reached. One. There are many more to achieve if you so desire and believe. Do you desire it? Do you believe it? It's your choice. Never, and again I say never, let the negative experiences overshadow you and thus hinder what you are truly meant to be and can be. I want to share a simple story with you that a friend of mine shared with me about their childhood. Can I just take a couple minutes and share this with you? Thank you. I have a friend, they live in Indianapolis. They are an independent contractor that works with governmental agencies. They're married with 2 children, beautiful husband, great family. Their brother has his doctorate and is taught in a very prestigious college in California. He's now retired, lives a happy, wonderful life. One sister is a surgeon in Texas. The other sister has her doctorate degree and teaches in a wonderful campus in Florida. But now this is where the story gets interesting. For they did not grow up in a prestigious family. They did not grow up living in an 8,000 square foot home. They grew up living in a basement of a condemned home. No power, 1 room. In a basement. So you think, okay, there's 4 kids and 2 parents living in a little basement. The home was condemned by the city. The father refused to work, as well as the mother. She refused to work. Why? Because they're alcoholics and they're also addicted to substances. So as I'm talking to them, I said, how did you and your brothers, or your brother and your sisters, make this? How did you know what to do? And why did you then do it? They said, we didn't have a choice. For them, their no choice was, we have to, and we will do anything that I need to do in order to become who we were truly meant to be, in order to become that which we so choose to be. So now I say to you, the choice is yours. You can choose to become who you want to become. Thank you. Now I ask the opening prayer. He's going to do the pledge first, excuse me.
Can everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now for the prayer. Dear God, today we say hello to our future, the future that only you know. I want to thank you for all of these wonderful people here today, and thank you for the graduates who are receiving their diplomas today. Bless their steps into the future as they walk out those doors today and towards their future. Thank you for being there and making all of this happen. Without us having faith in you, some of us wouldn't be on the stage. Thank you. In your son's name we pray, amen. And now for our CEO, John Slight. I can't say their name.
I love it when our students participate, and it doesn't have to be perfect. We don't care. All we care about is that they had the courage to do that, and that was a beautiful prayer. You know why? Because it was from the bottom of your heart. That's all that matters. Rob Staley, thank you very much. Hi, my name is Rob Staley, and I am the CEO and the founder of The Crossing. To be the CEO means absolutely nothing when you start an organization because you're the only guy. So you look around and go, hey, what can I call myself? How about a CEO? That sounds good, and so that's why I became the CEO. I'm not qualified to do anything I'm doing. I served as a high school principal for 20 years, and I guess I can manage schools a little bit. But other than that, we jumped into The Crossing after I had the experience of being in a public school environment for 25 years, 22 years as a high school principal in Elkhart, Indiana, and recognized that some students just aren't making it here. And as I would go to the administrative meetings and look around, I would see people go like, what are we going to do? These kids are going to jail. Somebody's killed. Somebody had a car accident. It was just stuff going on all the time. And then they violated attendance policy. They ran their mouth at the teacher, or they cussed the principal out, or whatever the case may be. We go, okay, it's time for you to go. And it was almost like just taking a tag and going, until one day I decided I'm going to start visiting all these kids that I dismissed in the county jail. That's an interesting thing for a principal. If you really want to know how good you are, go to the jail. So I went to the county jail and I asked the jail attendant, can I become a chaplain here? And he goes, what's that mean? I go, that means I get a free pass behind the walls because I think I know 80% of your customers. And I did that. And I went behind the walls and I started to spend some time, and here's what they started saying. Staley, you're the one who kicked us out of school. That's why we're here. Do you care? Aren't you better than this? Is that all you can do, is just kick kids out of school and remove them from the environment so you can have this nice little squeaky clean school? And I said, no, that's not me. And they go, listen, you need to do a better job. And they were like reprimanding me. They're in jail and I'm a visitor. And they're reprimanding me. And they're saying, why don't we have a school where we can like just become united and be a family? I thought that was interesting. First words out of their mouth. How do we become united and just become a family? The second thing they said is, can you teach us how to work? Like, people are graduating with a high school diploma and they don't even know how to work. School is not relevant. Doesn't make any sense. By the way, do you know why our school kids don't do real well in traditional school systems? Because they're smart enough to selectively abandon things that don't matter. Ooh, wait a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand in front of you, graduating from high school with a 1.9 GPA, and I'm now the CEO of an organization. You know what I decided? I didn't like school because I felt like I was doing way too much stuff that didn't matter, so I selectively abandoned it. And then I went to college and somebody goes, hey, do you want a job? You probably ought to go to college. I went to college and got 4.0 because I decided that it made a difference. So we're not stupid. As a matter of fact, I will tell you that you're probably the most intelligent people in your school environment. This is why. You're problem solvers. You've been through hard times. You're creative thinking. And I always say, give me the opportunity to be in a foxhole with a student versus the valedictorian of a public school, and I'm here with you all day long. You're going to solve the problems. Can we give them a round of applause? Thank you. So here's what we figured out in our organization. Courtney gave me 5 minutes, so you ring the bell when I go over, because I will go over. So here's what we found that's really important. How can we develop a model that simply says, okay, you got to get a high school diploma? Now, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people go, high school diploma, what's that mean? You know what it does mean? It means it opens the door. It's not going to make you smarter. It's going to create a little bit of discipline, and it's going to open the door for you to go to the next step in life. You know, we're an infant, we survive life, and we grow up, and then we go to this thing called high school, and we graduate, and we go like, hey, this is important because people say I have to graduate from high school. It is, whether you like it or not, it is important. So we gotta face that. And then the next thing happens, you decide you're going to move on in life, and you've got to have a career of some kind because, believe it or not, you have to have a job. There is this thing in this world called we got to survive, we have to have a job. And then we go on to raise a family, and then we go on and get to an age like I am and turn around backwards and go like, what am I doing and where am I going and what did I just do that made a difference in somebody's life? So I decided to jump out as a high school principal. I had a very healthy salary. I went home and begged my wife, can I do something really crazy? And she goes like, what? And I go like, come home without a paycheck. And she goes, are you serious? And I go, yeah. And she goes, look, here's the way it is. You're frustrated because your students are dying and going to jail. It doesn't matter how much money we have. We'll sell a Harley Davidson and a motorhome. We'll do some different things, but I want you to go do what you got to do because you're going to make a difference for God. And I said, I'm all in. Thank you, honey. And we started this thing in a warehouse downtown in Goshen, Indiana. I called 6 kids on the phone. Hey, dude, I caught you a dope today. Remember that? Yeah, Staley, what are you going to do to me now? You already expelled me. I'm inviting you to a new school I'm starting. Wait a minute. You just kicked me out of your public school, and now you're going to invite me to this warehouse? Yes, sir. Get all your buddies, too. We started with a bunch of drug dealers, a kid who had a 45 on a school bus. We had the craziest group you could ever imagine. Great kids, just made stupid mistakes. And I invited them all in. I looked at them in the face, and I go, here's what it is. You're going to get your diploma. Number 2 is you're going to learn how to work. And by the way, learning how to work is not easy. You're going to sweat. You're going to get poison ivy. You're going to get cuts on your body. Things are going to not feel comfortable, but you're going to have to embrace the suck. That's what we say. And number 3, here's the most important thing. I want you to understand it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how much education you have. If you do not believe in this being the inspired word of God and the life map for where you're going, then you're not going to have a good life. Or you may have a good life on this earth, but it's not going to result in a good life afterward. So, look, we can all argue all day long. This is called a private school. So if you don't like God or believe in God, we don't really care, quite honestly, because we do, and you joined our club. And this is the book right here that gives you what I would call absolute truth. Now, some people trade this off for Facebook, right? And I get all my joy and all my anger out of Facebook. Or I can choose to take you right here and say, you want to stop getting confused? Pour your heart into this life map, and this will actually show you something that you never realized existed. You got to start with this. And when you start with this, you start to say, I need my club card. In other words, I need a relationship with God. And without a relationship with God, we, sitting here, believe that is our mission. You would probably not be sitting here. Because we believe that the reason why you made it, by the way, can everybody say, I made it? Thank you. The reason why, how many parents are sitting here going like, I never thought it was going to happen. Never thought it was going to happen. That's our music, right? We did it all. The police show up, the principal expels, I get a call from the school, he doesn't go to school, he does this, he does that. I never thought it was going to happen. Do you know why it happens here? Because God has given us great favor and is in the presence of the school to say, give me peace, give me comfort, put me around a group of people like this that are tremendous all-stars that listen to the whisper every morning and every night. They're going to love you unconditionally. I just read a quote on the way over here that says, the people who really care about your life, your teachers. are people that, number one, embrace who you are. And they're not going to make you somebody else. Number two is they're going to forget about your past because we don't really care. Your past only allows you and teaches you how to dance in the rain instead of waiting for the storm to pass all the time. And by the way, adversity in your life is probably why you're sitting in a chair. You had adversity, it brought you here today. So, congratulations, this is a milestone. This is one of those deal breakers like, I got to do this. I have to graduate from high school. And then you have to get a job. But more than that, ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you will join this group and a whole lot of others at the gates of heaven in those ugly orange crossing shirts. Because I had a dream once, and maybe this is crazy, maybe I made this up, but I dreamed that I was standing at the holy gate, and there were thousands and thousands of people at the gate, and as I looked back, there were a sea of orange t-shirts. I dreamed this, and God says, this may be hard, you may be frustrated, you may feel like throwing in the towel, and they may have robbed your house 3 times, they may have killed your dog, they may have stolen your car keys, but it doesn't matter because they're going to be at the party at the gate. Don't forget, don't throw that orange shirt away. You're going to need it. Love you guys. Congratulations. Keep doing big things in the world because you will be the next CEO, not just the worker. You're the leader. Thank you.
That boy good right there. Let's get this. We like to hear from our students. We love for them to share their stories. And there's a wonderful ministry called Luke 23 or 923, and they present a scholarship. And this scholarship exists to bring awareness that God is at work in each of our life stories, through the good and the bad experiences that come our way. God is at work using these experiences to strengthen our dependence upon Him and our relationship with Him. And He is at work providing a story that each of us can use to help others through similar life circumstances. So the Crossing teachers, we nominated some students for this scholarship. And who earned that scholarship is Miss Anessa Darden. So we're going to share her story up here.
Hi, my name is Anessa Darden. I've been through a lot, but it has only made me stronger.
I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up.
My dad and Nana died when I was little, and my Nana was literally my world, only at 7 years old. And when she died, my life just really went down from there. When my mom married my stepdad, I was getting abused mentally and physically. I used to get told to go kill myself. I wasn't worthy. I'd seen him literally choke my mom to where she was almost gone, and then just tell her it was her fault right after. And he would just treat me and my sisters like we were the dirt on his shoe. He would hit us and then 20 minutes later want us to come and do something for him. I could never have friends over or make friends because he would make us clean the whole house and then tell us you can't have them come over, just to get us to clean the whole house. He'd treat us like garbage all over again. It was just a cycle. He used to tell me I was stupid, like I was the only one that he targeted. He used to tell me I was stupid. And for the longest, I would have straight A's and everything, but for the longest, I wouldn't believe that I was smart. It was really hard in school. And I was really suicidal there for a minute because it was hard growing up. I didn't know how to deal with my anger at a young age. And so I usually took it out on my sisters because they were an easy target for me. I was very suicidal. I was smoking weed, didn't go to school. Through all of that, it was really hard, but I think the reason I never tried to kill myself or anything like that is because Jesus and God, they were always there. I just didn't know them then. And my sister had told me about the crossing, how it helped her, and so I decided to give it a chance. And for the first year, I was like, they just don't know what they're talking about. This God stuff isn't real. But my second year, this past year, I was actually drawn into it, especially with Mr. Bolts. I feel like there was a presence of God inside of him, and it just helped me get to know Christianity, God, and Jesus a lot more. Mr. Bolts, I feel like he was a father figure, kind of, and he also was like a mentor. He was the person that I needed in my life. And I had opened up to Mr. Bolts because I don't open up to people. And I had opened up to him, and he didn't judge me or anything like that. And it just made me feel welcome and like an actual person. I didn't feel beaten down by a man figure. Last year, I was still hesitant on God and Jesus and stuff. And Mr. Bolts, during family time, he would break it down. He'd tell us who God was. He was our creator. He was the person that has our plan for us. But Jesus is the one that is there and helps guide you and picks you up when you fall and things like that. And he's the one that literally died for us so that we can live. But somehow Jesus pulled me and he got me.
Taking all I have and now I'm laying it at your feet. You'll have every failure, God. You'll have every victory.
So I have moved out of my mom's house, obviously. I started the job at Master Spas, which is going really good. I make really good money there. If it wasn't for the crossing, I probably wouldn't have went there. I took it upon myself to apply for college and things like that to help me with my futures. I'm saving for my dream car, which is a Charger. I actually got into Indiana Tech for child development, and I plan to open up a preschool. That's what I'm shooting for. And I feel like once I found myself within my religion, I felt a lot more freer. I don't think about suicide anymore. I just feel a lot more free. I'm trying to get into going to church. I watch it on TV, but I'm trying to get to going to church because it's hard for me. To a future crossing student, don't think that the school is for bad kids and automatically not engage with the teachers, because it's really a school where the teachers love you and care for you and are actually there. When they were telling me that, I didn't believe it either, but it's the love is really there. They really care about you. I think if it wasn't for going to the crossing, I probably wouldn't have graduated. I probably would be strung out somewhere, if I'm being honest. Thank you, Luke 9:23 Ministries, for the scholarship. It is very helpful, and you guys are a blessing.
Got me messed up here, Nessa. Daggone, I'm so proud of you. All right, I'm not going to try to take too much of your time because, like I said, we like to hear from the students. It's about you guys. Get tired of hearing us fuddy-duddies up here. But I do want to challenge you with some truth. I'm I'm going to read a passage and then share a little bit. The passage comes from Isaiah, the 55th chapter. I'm going to read some selected verses. God says this to you guys. He says, "Come, everyone who thirsts, come to the waters. And he who has no money, come, buy and eat. Come, buy wine and milk without money and without price. Why do you spend your money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which does not satisfy? Listen diligently to me, and eat what is good, and delight yourself in rich food. Incline your ear and come to me. Hear, that your soul may live. For as the rain and the snow come down from heaven, and do not return there, but water the earth, making it bring forth and sprout, giving seed to the sower and bread to the eater, so shall my word, God says, so shall my word go out of my mouth. It shall not return to me empty, but it shall accomplish that which I purpose, and it shall succeed in the thing for which I sent it." God is a very wise investor, and he desires the same for us. So as I look out upon this crowd of achievers today, I want to thank God, and we want to thank God for the opportunity to have partnered with you in this journey of investment. You have honored us teachers with the gifts of your time, your vulnerabilities, your struggles, your trust. Please understand that that is not a trivial thing. Your accomplishment that we are all here celebrating is the culmination of years of investment on the part of yourselves and many other people in this room. Your paths to get here today have been unique as your beautiful souls. As you have each walked, ran, sometimes crawled along those paths, you have been engaged in the process of investment. As we often talk about in our family times, trust and time are some of the most valuable resources that we have at our disposal. I'm here representing us at the Crossing. I just want to say thank you for trusting us and sharing so much of your time with us. I do believe it was time well spent. My prayer for all of you is that you learn what is worthy of your time and whom is worthy of your trust, because squandering or misplacing these precious gifts is one of our greatest dangers. My challenge to you today is to urge you to count the cost of your commitments. Examine the soil which you plant your affections. Open your eyes to whom you entrust your hearts, and take very seriously the direction that your life is pointed. We're all moving in a direction. We are all pointed towards some end. If you are unaware of that direction, your ignorance will not let you off the hook when the destination is reached. Ask more hard questions, namely of yourself and how you're spending your time and your trust. When you go about planning your weekend, your summer break, your next step of education or vocation, think about the return on your investment. There's only one person worthy of our absolute trust, and only one person who promises an eternity of hope fulfilled and time redeemed. I commend to you Christ Jesus, the words of God and the promises he makes. They will not fail. They may feel delayed based upon our shallow perspectives, but a word sent from God will produce that which he sent it to produce. God has initiated his desire to know us, and now we are here to respond to that initiation. He promises, if you seek me, you will find me. If you seek me with a whole heart, I will be found by you, declares the Lord. He says in another place, on the day you hear his voice, do not harden your heart, and also seek him while he may be found. God made time, not us. Time is not under our control. We merely navigate our use of it. And more time tomorrow is assumed by most of us, but it is not promised. My hope is that you all have decades and decades of living on this planet, experiencing a plethora of situations that are consistent with your purpose of being. You, me, all of us, we're responsible for what we're responsible for, which is our priorities and our application of the gifts that God has given us. So take your lives seriously. You were purchased, guys, with the very precious blood of the Son of God. Now, you don't have to have all the answers right now. You'll get those around 40 years old. They'll start showing up. Just kidding. But for real, don't assume you have decades. What you do have is today. The fact that you're sitting here in a posture of achievement and celebration is evidence that you can prioritize. You can live with hope, trust, and effort. So I want to send you off to the words that we love you, we are so very proud of you, and we expect to hear how you will make an impact with your lives in this time and into eternity. God bless.
Thank you, Courtney, for those great words of wisdom. By the way, when he said, don't assume you have all your life to figure this out, I'm sad to inform you that we have buried over 75 of our former graduates. 75. That's a pretty big number. As a matter of fact, last night in Northwest Indiana, our graduation, we're doing the circuit to 5 different regions. And graduating students all over Indiana, we recognized a student named Jaden that died of gang violence at the age of 16. Tomorrow we'll recognize another student age of 16 that died of drug and gang violence at the age of 16 in Elkhart. So when people are walking around going like, don't worry about it, there's no pressure, there's no time. Hey folks, this is a crazy world. And a significant of those 75 were from this area. So folks, hold on to the truth, respond, listen, and stop acting like you have forever, because I don't know when I'm going to end either. So let's make sure we pay attention to that. All right, based on the regulations and the qualifications in the Indiana State Board of Education, I've been hereby certified to certify you that all your diplomas and all your action and everything you have done is exactly what the state of Indiana says you have to do, and we're now ready for the receipt of diplomas. So all that stuff we just did, you're going like, yeah, it's like going to a wedding, listen to the pastor, right? Now we're going to get married. Now we're going to get you that diploma in your hand. And remember, you did it. You fought through it and you did it. And now we're going to make it happen with this little piece of paper that says, I graduated. I love you. I know that you're going to have a future and you're going to be our future leaders. Enjoy this part of the ceremony. By the way, in a public school where you go, don't clap, don't cheer, don't embarrass anybody. You know that we got to respect everybody. Here we go like, you know what? We're pretty good at breaking every one of those rules. I would say scream really loud, cheer really loud, clap like crazy, because ladies and gentlemen, we're experiencing a miracle from God. We got a diploma coming today, right? Can we hear some noise? You got it? So parents, mom and dad, if you want to step up here and take pictures, you can. But I just want to make sure you understand that it is allowed and promoted here. We break rules pretty regularly when it comes to traditional stuff. Stand up and be happy. This is a time of being happy. You are crying many, many days over this. Let's be happy. Thank you.
So what this is going to look like is each one of these young lovelies are going to come up here and give a speech of just their story briefly, saying thank you to whomever. Going to come get a picture. They're going to get a Bible that a staff member has signed individually, personally to them, and they're going to get 2 flowers as a gift to 2 people in the audience. please nobody who doesn't get a flower catch any feelings. Okay? We have a budget. So that's the way that's going to look like. So Mr. Moser, come on up here.
Not yet. Hello, I'm Clark Moser. I am the site leader and campus administrator down at the Byrne campus. Now, we have a strong public school partnership, so most of our students choose to walk with the public school, but on those rare occasions, we do have those special individuals that choose to walk with the crossing. So it is my honor to recognize the Byrne Crossing graduate for this year, Ashley Victoria Shaw.
Okay, my name is Ashley and I'm from the Byrne campus. I've attended the crossing for a total of 4 years and I dropped out for a year in the middle. I first came to the crossing in 2016 from our public school, South Adams, for a more one-on-one experience. I had gotten into some legal trouble and refused to do schoolwork, acted out, etc. When I first came to the crossing, I had absolutely no idea how the world worked and I didn't really care for school. I didn't necessarily have a permanent place to stay nor a technical home. I had lived with a couple friends or people I thought were friends here and there and my sister for a short time. Throughout my years at the crossing, I've dealt with some pretty rough things, including the year I dropped out. I'm not proud of the places I've been or the things I've done, but without the crossing or the people I've met through the crossing, I would have never made it to this point. But there are some people who deserve a proper thank you from me. Mr. Moser and Miss Salee, regardless on the rough days, both of you pushed me to graduate and wouldn't let me give up even when it seemed like the only option. Mrs. Potter, even if I was annoyed with working on English all the days you were there, I couldn't be more grateful for the help that you put in because without it, I'd still be stuck on those English classes. Nova, from meeting you and you being my first friend from the crossing to now, I would have never gotten where I am today without a best friend like you. Thank you for everything. Ashley, who is my stepmom and wasn't able to be here because she is at work. Marie, which is my sister, and Raven, which is my sister. You guys coming into my life in 2017 was one of the best things to ever happen to me. Without you girls and your mom, I wouldn't even be standing up here today. Thank you three for pulling me out of such a dark hole. My mom and my dad, even though times in each of our individual lives/relationships, even through tough times in each of our individual lives/relationships, you both stood on each side of me, supporting me every day. Jason, who is my stepdad, even with our rough past, you've always told me to finish school, and I couldn't be more grateful for our strong relationship now. Thank you for showing up to all the important events when my dad doesn't. Taylor, I genuinely couldn't ask for a better partner in life or boyfriend. Thank you for making sure I got up and went to school most days. Thank you for loving me, and thank you for pushing me so hard to graduate. I couldn't have done it without you. Jonathan, who is my brother, I know we don't have a strong relationship, but thank you for being the main reason I graduated because I know you're looking up to me and your graduation is just around the corner. Cindy, thank you for accepting me into your family the minute Taylor brought me around. Thank you for making me go to school almost every day because if it wasn't for you, I definitely would have missed way more days than what I did. I can't personally thank my grandma and grandpa because neither of them were physically able to be here, but I know they're here in spirit. The only reason I'm walking across the stage is because they both asked me to, even if they couldn't be here physically. Without any of the people I said, I would have never made it to where I am today. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. My plan from here on out isn't 100% set, but I know it'll either be CNA classes or cosmetology school. I couldn't be more proud of myself, and I am so happy to be a part of the class of 2021. Thank you to everyone who showed up to support me, and most importantly, thank you to the crossing. I wouldn't be graduated if it wasn't for you guys.
And now for the Fort Wayne campus, we want to hear from Shaylin Clark.
Hello, my name is Shaylin Clark. I came to the crossing in 2020 and I graduated in 2021. I came to the crossing originally because I wanted the opportunity to graduate early and work at my own pace and not a predetermined pace set by my school. While at the crossing, I learned a lot about God and a little bit about myself that helps me reflect on a daily basis and figure out where I want to go with my life and what I want to do. I planned on starting a full-time job after graduating, and I have since started, and it is going very well. After that, my next step will be college. I would like to thank my family for always being there for me and being so supportive of all my goals, ambitions, and quirky interests. And I could not have done any of this without their support and help. So thank you.
Next, we would like to call to the front Charlotte Langan.
Sorry, I'm nervous. Hi, I'm Charlotte. For only being 20 years old, I have already gone through so much, but I have experienced so much as well. For instance, going to public school was never an easy thing for me to go to. I had struggled with my learning disability and never really fit in with the other kids. I always felt out of place. All the way up to freshman year of high school, it got worse. I was bullied. My depression and anxiety made it difficult to take care of my mental health. I felt like I didn't want to live anymore. That's the reality of kids nowadays, and it gets bad. And sometimes it's a struggle to keep going. After my freshman year, I had enough of public school and was ready for a change. Luckily, my sister went to this different but amazing school called The Crossing. This school changed my life. With the crossing, I was able to talk about real issues, get involved in my community, gain friendships, and build a relationship with God. I was able to get closer to God and gain a stronger sense in my faith. This school really helped me being there, me going through hard times, and encouraged me to continue reaching my goals so I can graduate. Last year, I got into a terrible car accident with my father and my sister. Due to the accident, I broke a lot of bones, were broken, and I ended up losing my dad in the mix of it. Not only did the crossing help me go through this, my family and my friends gave me the love and support like no other. Dealing with the loss of my father and having my doubts, I wasn't sure if I could graduate. I wanted to let people know that even during the darkest times, there is hope in becoming successful, reaching your goals, and graduating. Nothing is impossible. I want to thank my mom, my sister, my friends, my brother, and my dad for also personally for always encouraging me, loving me, and supporting me like no matter what. I can also say how proud I am of myself standing up here today. My dad would also be proud of me, of knowing how far I've come. I know he will always be wherever I am. Thank you.
Next, we have Tiana Long.
Good morning. My name is Tiana Long. I came to the Crossing in October of 2019. I came to the Crossing seeking to excel in my classes as well as increase my knowledge of God. While I was at the Crossing, I have learned deeper depth about God and the purpose of prayer. I have also learned that you can do anything with faith and motivation. I plan on starting training to become an emergency medical technician after graduation. I want to thank my mom and siblings and my significant other. I also want to thank Mr. Griswold for dealing with my attitude, Mr. Mossberg for dealing with my attitude as well. I couldn't do it without any of you guys. Thank you.
Next, we have Janessa Massey.
Hi, y'all already know my name, but I came to the Crossing in 9th grade. I came to the Crossing to further my education and just be in a good environment because public school wasn't for me. While at the Crossing, I have learned so many new things about myself, and my faith has grown in God. After school, I like to become a criminal therapist. I would like to thank my mom and my family and Mr. Mossberg for never giving up on me, and Mr. Bowles and Mr. P. And I also want to thank Ms. Huffman for helping me with my algebra because I couldn't have done it without you. And that's it.
Next, we have Matthew Palmerton.
Good morning, my name is Matthew Palmerton. I would be wearing this, but my head is too fat. I want to thank the staff at the Crossing for believing in me and supporting me through the time I have been at the Crossing. And I want to thank my family, those who are here and those who are unable to make it. I know that they supported me very much, and I love and care for them deeply. Thank you.
I would like to introduce the world changer, Miss Andrea Snyder.
My name is Andrea Snyder. I came to the Crossing during my senior year, like around August 2019. I graduated December 2019. I came to the Crossing because when I was going to school my senior year, it was probably like the lowest point in my life, and it had got really hard. So I had dropped out of school my senior year because of all the stress. So after I watched all my classmates graduate, and then it made me really regret my decision. And then I found out about the Crossing, so I decided that I was going to go back to school and graduate. While I was at the Crossing, I had learned that God always had a plan, even if it didn't sit right, even if I didn't see it right away. And I had to learn, no matter how hard life gets, that I can always get through it. I have started going to Purdue Fort Wayne, and I have one more year until I graduate with my bachelor's degree in biology. From there, I'm planning on going to med school. I would like to thank my grandma, who is like my mom to me and is always taking care of me and raised me, and also my best friend Winjex, because without him I probably wouldn't have went back to school and graduated at all. And then also I want to thank the teachers and staff at the Crossing for helping me find the way.
Next, we have the first twin, DeMarcus Red Watson.
What's up, everybody? All right. My name is DeMarcus, and I came to the Crossing my junior year because I kept getting suspended and getting in fights and stuff and making some bad decisions. While at the Crossing, I had learned that God has a reason for things, and He will put me where I need to be. I also learned how to control my anger and my actions, and I plan on getting a factory job and continuing my rap career after graduation and working to get my own place and all different stuff. I would like to thank all the teachers that were willing to sit down and actually talk to me and give me a chance. Mossberg, Peyton, Griswold, all y'all. I just, thank y'all. Thank y'all. And I would like to thank my parents for everything they done for me. I would like to thank my family members that are here and who are not to be able to make it. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. So, thank y'all.
And last but not least, we've got Jamarcus Tank Watson. Looks a little bit like the last guy.
What's good, everybody? All right. My name is Jamarcus Watson. I came to the crossing my junior year, and I came because I kept getting in trouble doing stuff I wasn't supposed to be doing. While at the crossing, I have learned a lot about God, and I learned to take responsibility for my actions. I plan on getting a new job after graduation. I would like to thank all the teachers that helped me through this year, and I would like to thank my parents for bringing me here, and the rest of my family.
All right. I'm representing the Master Spiles campus, and we will begin with the incomparable Christopher Aller.
My name is Christopher Aller. I came to the crossing in October of 2020. I came because I had a major credit deficiency. While at the crossing, I've learned how to forgive and trust with the help of God. And I learned how to not overexert myself about stress and things that may be overwhelming. I plan to continue my career as a career agent for American Income Life Insurance. I would like to thank Mr. Bolds, Mr. Procrazzi, Mr. Sordelay, all family, and my significant other.
Don't be nervous. Many years of just picking and fun and maturation, Mr. Zachary Barva.
Holy crap, okay. Before I begin, I would like to thank the crossing. My name is Zachary Barva. I came to the crossing because I lack direction in my life. For years, I struggled in public education, feeling I didn't matter to the system. I could sense a hidden resentment from my teachers when I couldn't work as they intended. Not one of them managed to understand me in a meaningful way. Not one of them treated me as a person and not just another face in a crowd of students. That wasn't until I came to the crossing. The teachers at the crossing welcomed me with open ears and open arms. They were quick to understand me and my academic needs. For once, I had teachers that were more like friends than uncaring authority figures. We would talk for hours about our passions and our opinions. I got a chance to understand myself and think about myself deeper in the form of our family time. They gave me something that I was sorely needing: direction. For that, I say thank you.
Next up, Justice Byers.
Good morning. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I'm nervous. I'm up here sweating. But I'm gonna start it off by telling y'all a little bit about myself. My name is Justice Byers. I came to the Crossing in early November of 2018. I came because public school just wasn't working out for me. It wasn't the place for me, and they didn't really want me there no more. But the Crossing, they welcomed me with open arms, and everybody was welcoming me whenever I came. And since I've been here, I've gotten a lot closer with God, a lot closer with myself than I ever imagined I would. I've learned a lot about myself, and I've been able to discover more and more about myself throughout the years of being here. After I graduate, I plan to pursue a career in being an EMT or a firefighter. And I'd like to start it off by thanking the Lord for giving me the opportunity to experience all the things I have with the Crossing. And I would also like to thank all the teachers I've had throughout all the years I've been here, from my first year with Mr. Hughes and Mr. G and Mrs. C, to my second year with Mr. Faley and Miss Cato, and especially my most recent year with Mr. Bolds, Mr. P, and Mr. S. Y'all impacted my life in a way y'all couldn't even understand, for real. I'm not gonna lie. But I'd also like to thank my parents and my siblings for all the support y'all gave me and all the motivation to finish. I know y'all didn't think this was gonna happen, but I'm standing here now, so y'all better get the pick. And I also want to thank my Aunt Nancy for being the reason I'm even here in the first place and for finding this school for me. And also my counselor, my mentor, Frank. He helped me out, straighten out my life, and he was a little tough on me at first, but I think we're cool now. I wouldn't be the person I am today if it weren't for the Crossing, and I mean that with my whole entire heart. And I'll continue to spread the name so that more kids could get the opportunity that I have and get to change their life like I have. And I would also like to thank all the students for all the good times that we had. And I wish y'all the best, and I hope to see y'all again sometime in the future. Thank you.
All these burgeoning public speakers up here, I love it. All nervous for no reason. Let's go. Man, the myth, the legend, DC, Derek Causey.
Hey, my name is Derek Causey. Writing this speech brought out a lot of emotions out of me. I appreciate Mr. Lutz, Mr. Bowes, Mr. S, and Mr. P, and the whole Crossing family for just bringing me in and treating me like family since day one. They could have been gave up on me, honestly, a long time ago. But it always been just bigger than graduating with them. I built a lifelong relationship and trust with them. But graduating was honestly bigger than me. I did this for my mom, my dad, my daughter, and most important, my brother, Nick. Every day he called me after school saying how proud he was that I didn't give up on school, knowing how easy it was. I no longer have my brother here with me, but today I know I made bro proud. I'm thankful for my best friend for the endless motivation to just finish school. Mr. Bowes, I'm thankful for you just being on me every day. I needed that. I'm a lot to deal with, I ain't gonna lie. But y'all dealt with me, and for that I'm grateful. Thank you.
All right. Miss Superstar. Oh, by the way, Anessa Dordan also heard recently she's got a scholarship that's going to pay for all of her college. How amazing is that?
Hey everybody. I've been at the Crossing for 2 years. My first glimpse of the Crossing for me was a bad school for kids that was just in violence and stuff. But once I got there, it changed my mind, especially with Miss Cato and Miss Causey. The Crossing is one of the most impactful experiences that I have had. I learned how to love God while coming here. I've had a few reality checks while coming here for sure, from Mr. Bowles especially. My attitude, my outlook on life, and my mindset is completely different. I was suicidal and depressed, and I didn't really believe in God, but the Crossing helped me open my eyes and see myself in God's hands. The Crossing is an amazing experience for people to find themselves as young adults, and if it wasn't for the Crossing, I probably wouldn't have graduated, be going to college or even working in a factory. And for that, I'm very grateful. I would like to thank everyone at the Crossing and my family and friends, especially my mom, my sisters. Love you guys. Mr. Bowles, I love you. Ooh.
This little spark plug, encourager, always willing to help out, amazing young lady, Denali Doherty.
Alright, I feel like this isn't on right, but okay. My name is Denali. I came to the Crossing in 2019. At that point, I was a junior and I had already been to 3 different public high schools. I don't know why I'm gonna cry, guys. I came to the Crossing because my sister, she had already been going here. Well, at the Crossing, I learned that God doesn't punish you, you punish yourself when you ignore His signs. I've learned that I am my biggest supporter, that every day you will wake up and be the only voice that you are guaranteed to hear in your head. So speak kindly to yourself and learn how to love yourself so that you can express that love to other people. After graduation, I graduated in December. I got a decent paying job at a nursing home, and I can't wait to grow at the company. I would like to thank Miss Cato, Mr. Bowles, my parents, and my amazing boyfriend. All of my siblings that they couldn't be here today, not all of them, because there's like 20. But I wouldn't have made it without you guys, and I'm a very emotional person, so.
Yeah, should have had these up here. Next up, my brother. Oh, this kid worked hard. He did. We've seen some changes. Very proud of Mr. Savion Moore.
My name's Savion. I came to the Crossing in 2019. I came here because I heard it was a good private school. When I came to the Crossing, I learned a lot of things about God and the Bible that I didn't know, and I learned more things about myself while going to the Crossing. After I graduate, I plan on working and grinding after graduation. I want to thank Mr. Bowles, Mr. P, and Mr. S for helping me with credits and pushing me to finish, and my mom and my dad for being on me to graduate.
Oh my. Tran. Had some years. Such a bundle of potential and beauty. Can't wait to see how it turns out. Come on up here, Trinity O'Neill.
Woo. Okay, I don't want everybody staring at me all at once, please. Okay. Hi, my name is Trinity. I came to the Crossing my junior year because public schooling really wasn't for me. It distracted me a lot, and I was always getting in trouble, and I feel like it was closer to my senior year, so I needed to move on with my life and start getting my life together. Coming to the Crossing really changed my life. I was going through some really dark stages. When I first started the Crossing, I had lost my boyfriend to gun violence. I'm sorry. Okay. I like the Crossing because not only do they give you the education that you really need, but they really help you with stuff you go through on the outside of your life, and they help you get through those dark stages. I should get some words. I really wanted to thank all my teachers though, for real, because if it wasn't for you guys, my attitude would still be so disgusting. So bad. And I really wanted to apologize to Mrs. Cato because we didn't really click at first, but we figured it out when we honestly got to know each other personally. I really wanted to thank Mr. Bowles. He's the first one I really clicked with at this school. He helped me get through everything. He never gave up on me since the first day I came here. I want to thank my mom for never giving up on me on my worst days. Even though I gave her such a hard time to help me, she never gave up on me. I wanted to also thank my papa because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be as strong as I am today. He's a father figure to me and my sisters and my cousins. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't even know what strong was. Thank you. I'm
Miss Rivas. Affectionately known as Nina. This lady, I don't know if you know your potential yet. I think you tasted it the last week of school. If you apply that, my goodness, there's no stopping you. Get up here, Melina Rivas.
Okay, I'm Melina. I'd like to begin with thanking my three amazing teachers, Mr. Bowles, Mr. Sordelay, and last but not least, Mr. P. Thank you guys for seeing the potential in me that I didn't see on myself. Truly, if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't have made it. Thank you for never giving up on me. This school is like a family, so if you guys have any children that don't do really good in public school, I suggest the Crossing. It's definitely not your regular school. This school is like a family. You can actually confide in your fellow adults, and there's 3 of them, which is better. I love it here, honestly. I also want to thank my boyfriend for getting me up in the mornings. Lord knows I'm not a morning person. And I get very grumpy when I get woken up. But he dealt with all my attitudes for this very moment. Last and most important, I want to thank my mom and my dad. I hope I made you guys proud today. Thank you guys for everything you've done for me growing up. You guys taught me so much. You've helped me grow into a strong woman, and I'm very proud of myself also because I never thought this day would come. Here's to never. Thank you.
So this guy's kind of big, so we're going to do rules. Just kidding. Oscar Salgado, you're a genius, bro. Great communicator. You care about others. You're going to be a pillar in your community. You probably are already. That's just going to continue. Get up here and share with us.
I kind of wish I made my speech a little longer, but it's like probably a minute long. But I want to begin this speech off with thanking the Crossing, not only for letting me walk the stage, but for giving me a second chance to finally achieve what I needed to achieve, which was to graduate. I wanted to thank the staff especially for helping me on this journey, because I honestly didn't think I was going to walk the stage. When I got, I'm coming from a private school, so I understand how it feels to be in a family, because I went to Lewis. And when they expelled me, I honestly thought that my whole 2020 class was like, that whole journey was over, because I lived 2 blocks away from Southside High School, so I know what that environment is and how they always want you to be a product of your environment. And I'm surprised that I'm still here walking today, because, like I said, I went to Southside trying to graduate. I even went to Concordia. I went to every single FWC schools, and they all said no. Called Lures and said that I was a criminal. And if it wasn't for the Crossing, I wouldn't walk the stage. And I want to also thank my family, my mom for not giving up on me, and my sister. I plan on continuing to learn more about real estate and stocks, and I just want to grow, and I want my family to grow as fast as possible.
I felt that one. That was good. All right. Yeah, I don't play games now. Sincere. Taylor, you are a lovely young lady. The more you learn that about yourself, your wings are going to spread very broad. Get on up here and share some love.
Hey y'all, my name's Sincere. I came to the Crossing in 2019. I started coming to the Crossing because I stopped attending my regular high school, and I've learned a lot since I've been at the Crossing. I've built a relationship with God and learned a lot about life skills and time and hope management. After graduation, which is now, I plan on taking care of my kid, and after I have my kid, I'm gonna go to college to be a veterinarian, and I would like to thank my teachers and my family, and yeah, that's all.
Well, we're at that point where it's about to be super duper official. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna bring Mr. Rob Staley back up, because he's got the credos to tell you the words. Words have power, words change things. Don't ever believe they don't. Buckle up.
Thanks, you guys. Very inspiring. Did anybody shed a tear? Yeah, there's one thing I know about this place, and I go to a lot of these graduations since 2003. I don't think I've ever been through one where people were just not weeping. And I sit back there after 18 years and go, hey, it's still working. It's still working. You guys, your stories are amazing. You had great courage. We love the transformation going on in your life, and you're good at making all of us cry. And it's okay to cry, and it's okay to see you cry, because you're weeping over its happiness coming from the inner parts of your soul, and you've done big things. So at this time, I'd like to ask all graduates, please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Crossing class of 2021, and now declare them graduated. Please move your tassels and celebrate. Thank you.
All right, so we're coming to the conclusion of our wonderful celebration. So afterwards, we're just gonna meander around out here in the foyer. You can take some pictures. We have a photographer. If you'd like her to take some pictures of you, she will do that. We're gonna have a recessional. Students are gonna go out. We'll wait for them to leave, and then you will be free to go. I'm gonna say a blessing over us, and then we're gonna keep it moving. Oh, great God of heaven, we thank you for this day, for these many days that have culminated in now. I pray a blessing of life, of purpose, of understanding your word and hearing your voice over these young ones. And I pray, Lord, that they will be able to plant roots that go so deep, Father, and grow such big trees that many who need you can come and take shelter under those branches, Father. You're so good, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. Once the music starts, you guys can process out, okay?